You know that feeling when you're walking home, it's dark, and suddenly your brain goes, "We are being watched?" And then you turn around and it's just a trash bag and a lamppost, and somehow you still walk faster. Yeah, today we're talking about the people who actually want you to feel that way. Stalkers. How they think, what patterns they use, and how you can spot them early enough to nope out of their little fantasy world. Let's start with one uncomfortable truth. Stalking is usually not random. In movies, it's the mysterious guy in a hoodie who picks you out of a crowd. In real life, it's your ex, your coworker, your neighbor, your friend of a friend who liked way too many of your posts at 3 a.m. It's people who feel entitled to your attention. Stalking is about control, not romance. If this is their love language, you need a restraining order, not a relationship. Psychologically, most stalkers have a few things in common. They're obsessive. They create a story in their head where you are the main character and, surprise, you're supposed to play the role they wrote for you. They're often lonely, rejected, or feel humiliated by life. And instead of going to therapy like a normal disaster, they fixate on a target to restore their sense of power. There are rough types. You've got the rejected stalker, the ex who can't accept it's over, so they flip between "I love you, please come back" and "if I can't have you, no one can." You've got the intimacy seeker, the stranger who thinks you're secretly soulmates because you smiled at them once while ordering coffee and now they're convinced the universe sent them a sign. Then there's the resentful stalker. They feel wronged, slighted, or humiliated and want revenge through fear. And the incompetent suitor, the socially clueless one who thinks harassing you is just being persistent. Spoiler, it's not. Why does this matter? Because their type shapes their patterns. The rejected stalker keeps trying to reinsert themselves into your life. Texts, calls, showing up by accident where you are. The resentful one is more likely to escalate with threats or intimidation. The intimacy seeker does the "we're meant to be together" narrative. Different flavor. Same basic obsession. You are not a person to them. You're an object, almost a project they're working on. Now, here's where things get useful for you. Stalking is a pattern of behavior, not a single creepy moment. Anyone can be weird once. True stalking is repetition, persistence, and escalation. So you're not looking for one red flag, you're looking for a string of them that starts to look like a pattern. The first stage is usually information gathering. Think of this as the research phase of their delusion. This can look harmless at first. They memorize your routine, what time you leave work, where you get coffee, which gym you go to. Online, they stalk your social media, dig through your old posts, find your friends, your hobbies, your locations. Basically, they're doing a full-blown FBI background check on you with the emotional maturity of a teenager. In public, early signs can be subtle. You start seeing the same person in multiple places that don't make sense together. You see them at your bus stop. Fine. Then at your grocery store across town. Weird. Then at your gym, where they clearly don't belong and are just fake stretching in the corner. One coincidence? Sure. Two, maybe, three? Your brain is allowed to say, okay, something's off. Stalkers are pattern detectors. They look for your blind spots. Same route, same time, same headphones in, not paying attention. They love predictability. It makes you easy to track. So one way to become harder to stalk is to become less predictable. You don't have to live like you're in a spy movie, but small changes mess up their mental map. Alternate routes, vary your schedule slightly. Switch where you get coffee sometimes. To a normal person, you're just being random. To a stalker, you've suddenly become harder to pin down. Another stage is testing boundaries. Stalkers don't usually go straight to full horror movie mode. They start small and see what you tolerate. They send a harmless DM that feels a bit off. They show up coincidentally and watch your reaction. They push a little. If you ignore it, minimize it, or laugh it off, they learn something. Your boundaries are easy to push. This is where a lot of people get trapped, because we're socially trained to be polite. You don't want to be dramatic. You don't want to accuse someone and be wrong, and stalkers weaponize that. They hide behind plausible deniability. "I was just in the neighborhood." "You're overreacting." "I'm just being friendly." If your gut is screaming, "No, this is not normal, trust it," your nervous system is older and smarter than your social conditioning. Let's talk about reverse engineering their attention. Stalkers need three things: access, information, and emotional reaction. Remove or reduce any of these, and you become way less rewarding as a target. Access is physical and digital. Lock your accounts down. Stop posting your live location. Stop tagging where you are while you're still there. Post it after you leave. It's boring for a stalker if they never quite know where you are in real time. In the physical world, notice who always seems to be nearby, especially at off times or in low traffic areas. If the same face keeps appearing in your periphery, pay attention. This is not the universe sending you signs. It's sending you a warning. Information is what you leak. Oversharing is like handing a stalker a roadmap. Routine, workplace, favorite bar, running route. The fact that you always walk home alone on Thursdays, this is gold for someone who wants to track you. Ask yourself, if someone wanted to follow me, how easy am I making it? It's a brutal question, but it flips your brain into predator mode instead of prey mode, which is exactly what you want. Emotional reaction is fuel. Stalkers often want to know they've gotten to you. You're scared, upset, angry, thinking about them. That gives them power and keeps the obsession alive. Now, this doesn't mean just ignore it and it will go away. That's dangerously oversimplified. But strategically, you want to give them as little feedback as possible while you quietly escalate your own safety measures. Documenting incidents, telling people, contacting authorities if it crosses into harassment or threats. Another thing stalkers love is isolation. If no one else knows what's going on, you're easier to control and easier to gaslight. So break that early. If you notice a pattern, loop in other people. Coworkers, roommates, family, building security, bar staff, the bus driver if needed. Hey, this person keeps showing up and it's freaking me out. Can you just notice if they're around? That does two things. You get extra eyes and you teach your brain, I'm not dealing with this alone. That alone can change how confident you look and act, which also messes with a stalker's script. Speaking of scripts, a lot of stalkers are playing out some fantasy story in their head. You're the love interest, or the villain who wronged them, or the prize they're going to win if they don't give up. Anything you do that doesn't fit that script can sometimes destabilize them, but also potentially escalate them. That's why firm, boring, consistent boundaries are usually safer than dramatic confrontations. You're not trying to win an argument. You're trying to remove yourself from their narrative entirely. Pay attention to escalation. Has it gone from online messages to physical appearances? From neutral to obsessive? From hey to 20 missed calls? From just watching to following you when you move? That jump from digital to physical is a big psychological line for them, and it should be a big red flashing line for you. Your best defense is not becoming paranoid of everyone. It's becoming sharper at pattern recognition. Ask, does this person ignore my no? Do they keep accidentally crossing my path? Do they seem to know things about me I never told them? Do I feel smaller, watched, or cornered when they're around? If your body tenses every time you see them, pay attention. Your intuition is pattern recognition running faster than your conscious brain. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be harder to track than the next person and quicker to respect your own discomfort. Walk like you know where you're going, even if you don't. Change your routes sometimes. Lock down what you share. And if something feels off, act like you're right, not like you're being dramatic. Because the way stalkers think is simple. They look for patterns, openings, and silence. The way you stay safer is just as simple. Notice patterns, close openings, and refuse to stay silent about the people who won't take the hint. And if someone is watching this thinking, wow, this sounds like me, yeah, that's not romance, that's obsession. Get help. Preferably from a therapist, not from your next target. Stay weird, stay alert, and most importantly, stay hard to follow.